Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks alongside, guess who? Yeah, that guy, the professor. Ken Golden is here. What's going on?
What's happening?
Oh,
So,
not much, not much. Getting ready for Fall Fest tomorrow.
yes.
Everybody's coming in today. As folks are watching this episode, I'm actually driving back from the airport with George Lamy, heading to Rock Fantasy. So just so everybody knows, we taped this on a Thursday, but while this is going live, when this is premiering, Ken's probably getting ready to end his day. I'm on the road, and tomorrow we will be all together in.
So in a few hours from now, when this is airing, I'm going to go see a band I just signed from Chicago called Sons of Ra, really cool jazz rock trio, and they'll be hearing they'll have a chance to buy their new album in the spring. We're sorting all that out now. They finished recording, and yeah, so they're playing Philly for the first time tonight. So they're playing with three other local prog jazz rock bands that I've never heard of. So
Oh, so
it's either going to be a really good night or a really bad night. So
well, hopefully you come up with one of those two, at least one of those two other bands is something worthwhile, and
I tell you what I'm going to come away with, a really good cheesesteak.
I'm sure you will.
There's a place
Which place you going to?
there's a place called Del Rossi that's like a couple of blocks away. I've never tried it,
Oh, you
but
never
I've
gone?
seen
Okay.
videos and man, look unbelievable. So the show is at Ruba Club. So if you're in the Philly area, Jersey area, South Jersey, come out and go see some good proggy stuff tonight.
There you go. There you go. Sounds like a good Friday evening.
Yeah. So December is always a tough month for releases, and somehow we have to cobble something together. I actually have some stuff to talk about today. It's not gonna it's not gonna be a marathon, but I have some cool stuff.
Yep.
And I guess we'll see how it goes for the rest of the month, right? It'll
Yep.
be hit or miss. We'll see. You'll either see me or you won't. But you'll see me tomorrow in Newburgh.
That's right. That's right.
So come, you'll get to see me, and please don't all buy me Diet Cokes at once. You might even catch me drinking a beer.
Wow. All righty then.
Possible.
Well,
How is the beer? How is the beer there? Good.
he's got like 20 different beers. He's got 20 taps. So all sorts of different stuff, local stuff. Yeah. It's got
Okay.
something for everybody. Yeah.
Very good. All right. You ready to do it?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's start with the alphabet. No pre-orders this week. Things will start picking up for that early to mid January. We'll start coming up with some new stuff from Inside Out. So let's see. All right. First up, Action for Dog, Lease Fronted i Mork. So this is the second album from a Norwegian band that we did you get the new one, Pete? That's the first one. So okay, so the one you just held up, it was it was weird. It came out in 2023 on vinyl. They put it out earlier this year on CD for the first time, and now this new one uh, is, in essence, really the first 2024 release. They're
Okay.
sneaking it in at the end of the year, and very, very good band. They take their inspiration from Canterbury, but they kind of mix in that Scandinavian element. You know, we always talk about how all the really cool shit's coming out of Norway.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
These
More, more.
guys, these guys are really, really something. Really, really good. All right, now for something completely different. Aeon, Aeon Gods, King of Gods, and this is you could tell from the cover, epic power metal from Germany. And I've seen pictures of these guys. They like to dress up in silly costumes.
Okay.
So I
Great
don't quite,
cover.
yeah, I don't understand. That's the thing with power metal bands. Why they feel the need to dress up like trolls and you know princes and
There's quite a few of them that do that. Yeah, I don't understand why.
that's kind of that's kind of lost on me. Next one, I'm not big on power metal these days, but these guys are good. Astral Doors.
Yeah, they are.
So Astral Doors, they haven't made an album in 5
More
years.
dragons. There we go. Yes.
Well, I'm going to say this is the candidate for the dumbest album cover of the year.
Oh, it totally is.
Look
Attack
at
of the
it.
Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
Dragons, and if you look carefully, I'm using my pointer like you guys could see what I'm pointing at. They have like the Empire State Building back there. I mean, it's so over the top. It's ridiculous. But these guys got a great singer, Nils Patrick Johansson.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and many years ago, I don't know if you remember, Pete, I had a band on my label on Sensory called Wuthering Heights,
Yep. Yep.
and whether he was our discovery, and very very good singer. So, Swedish band, if you want first class power metal, if that's your thing. Astral Doors, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's like European power metal, but with like Ronnie James Dio singing. So
Yeah, yeah, and it, they're good. They're good. Like I said, I'm not a power metal guy anymore. These guys are they stand above most of the bands,
yeah,
so I
exactly.
recommend it. The next one, Pete, I don't know if you know this band. I just got turned on to him by one of my customers. If you don't know this one, I think you're going to love this one. A band from Italy called Bedsore.
It's sore.
Dreaming the Strife for Love. So Bedsore are an Italian progressive death metal band. And it's got all the your basic death metal elements, but it's fused with a variety of classic prog bands. You hear Goblin, you hear Devil Doll, you'll hear King Crimson. There's organ all the way through this thing, like really cool, wicked organ runs and stuff. And it's got some clean vocals and it's got the death vocals, long instrumental breaks. It's really, really good. Not my fare. This is something that I could even see like your Hudson Valley Square guys going nuts over. Really good.
I'll have to
Bedsore.
check it out. That's
Bedsore.
got to be the worst band name this year, but geez.
It's a horrible name. And luckily it has the classic death metal logo. You can't even
Can't even
read
read that. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, what does that say? Besby? I'm like, I can't.
it. Right. Shockingly good. Now, I don't remember if we talked about this last week or if you and I just talked about it. Blood Incantation?
Yeah, you and I talked about it. I don't think we talked about
Yeah. So I know there was a big buzz on it, so I decided to bring it in. Absolute Elsewhere. Really good. I mean,
it.
it's like it's just this weird fusion of death metal and space rock.
Yeah.
It's got Thomas Kwasnick from the latest incarnation of Tangerine Dream. He even plays on it. You hear, I'd say, Hawkwind and all the, a lot of Tangerine Dream elements to it, and clean vocals and death vocals. It's done. It's very creative. You know, Again, something that I wouldn't normally. If I saw that, I'd flip right past it. I'd say that's a cool cover, and I'd flip right past it. But saw such a buzz on the record, and I know you reviewed it, you loved it, and
It's really good. I think the death metal purists hate it because because of what it represents, but folks who are like not necessarily death metal fans, but or like death metal that's a little bit more adventurous, absolutely love it. So I think
it's kind of weird. You sometimes you wonder like how does a band like that find its audience? Because it's just as you say, like the death metal guys, it's too proggy, it's too this, it's too that, and then you got the prog guys that man, the music's great, but those vocals, I can't take those vocals. So
there's no happy medium, you
there's
know?
no happy medium, right? So how does a band like that? How do they find their audience? Or build popularity? It's tough for them, but they signed to Century Media. I'm sure they're doing something right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're a U.S. band, right?
Yes.
California, I
Like,
think
yeah,
you need.
Los Angeles, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, next one. This was a nice discovery. Chroma, double cross, which I assume is double cross. I don't know. Doble cross. So Chroma was a Spanish band from the 70s, doing Spanish prog, like all the other Spanish prog bands, Gotique, Ibio, all of that stuff. And they never got a deal. And these are basically high quality demos. I think it was recorded in 1979, but musically it fits right in. It fits right in with that Spanish scene. So it's kind of nice. So um Fellowship. What is this called? The Skies Above Eternity. I wouldn't have expected this, but they're a British band. They are symphonic power metal, and these guys, they like to wear really silly outfits. And
Sensing
yeah,
a trend here.
yeah, not my thing, but I, you don't see too much. I think may have mentioned this in the past. You don't see too much of these bands coming from the UK. Germany, Sweden.
Yeah, UK is not a power metal place.
No, no, and you know, I mean, of course, there's a great history of power metal, but currently, It's not. You know,
No.
it's a little.
Germany, Italy, Finland,
Yeah, yeah, but UK, no, not so much.
South America. Yes.
Next one, if you don't have it, you're gonna want this. The Dave Pike set, Infrared. So Dave Pike was a very talented American vibraphonist he had a pretty extensive career, and he recorded for the German MPS label. And MPS is a great family-owned label. They still are around, and the family still owns their masters. All their recordings were exceptionally good, and the label ran the gamut. They did stuff like Oscar Peterson. They had like a ton of Oscar Peterson albums, but they got into more adventurous stuff. Eberhard Weber, Vocal Kriegel, and I mentioned Vocal Kriegel because Vocal Kriegel is the guitarist on this album. So this album was recorded 1969, 1970, and it is a jazz rock album where Vocal Kriegel is like playing psychedelic guitar on the whole album. He even plays a little bit of sitar here and there, some acoustic guitar, and of course you got Dave Pike playing vibes, great bass, drums, killer quartet, really good. So I highly recommend it. Next, this is the big deal, one of the big deals of the year. The new one from Solaris, Martian Chronicles 3. It's a double CD. So you may have caught Solaris at Nearfest. You may have caught them at Progfest. Great Hungarian band, symphonic prog, but with a strong kind of space element to it. And they've kind of expanded the lineup on this one. And yeah, it's a concept album, I or AI, and it's Solaris. So I don't know if you were a fan, but I think they're a great band.
Every time, every time I think of Solaris, all I can think of is we will play one more song, and Robert Dupa and Chad pulling their hair out.
Pulling the hair out,
No,
yeah.
the
I,
Spock's beard guys saying if they don't get off the stage, we're leaving.
yeah. Well, what was the story? Like they sound checked like too long. They took like forever to sound check, I think.
Yeah, and they wanted to play their full set and everything. I mean, that was the first Near Fest, so everything was running over, and I was standing right on the side of the stage where the bands kind of went up and
Yeah,
off
yeah, yeah.
the stage, and the guys in Spockbeard's manager was pissed off, and I remember him going up to Rob and saying, "If you don't get them off the stage in 5 minutes, we're not playing." And the guys in Solaris were kind of like, "Whatever, they could care."
You want one more? Yeah, we want one more. Because I think weren't they like the band after the break, after the dinner break?
Yes, yes,
And the reason for that was they got to have the longer sound check.
yeah.
And they were just taking forever. Yeah, and yeah. But
Okay.
they've never made a bad album. All their albums are great. And so, you know, I was I was shocked and excited to see a new one. So there you go. I mean, if you like, there's a lot of flute in their music, guitar, they use choirs. I mean, they've really kind of blown this thing up. There's vocals on here, but long instrumental, spacey parts, and it's all over the map. It's great stuff. The next one, I need your help. I've got two. They're like companion albums. The first one is called Aquilon Redux, and the next one is the very best of Jethro Tull. Now, are you familiar with these?
They're like tribute albums with a bunch of different bands playing Tull classic.
So
Yeah.
they're stoner rock albums, basically. So Aquilon Redux, both of these come from the Magnetic Eye label. So Aquilon Redux has Motorpsycho on there, Mammoth Volume, The Sword, Domcraft. Those are the bands I'm familiar with. There's more bands because they cover Aquilon.
Yeah.
Uh, and there are other bands that I'm not familiar with. Best of Jethro Tull has Mr. Bison from very good Italian band, Elephant Tree, The Golden Grass, Sergeant Thunderhoof, which you reviewed, right?
Yep.
And
Yep. Jamie
yeah,
and,
and Jamie
Jamie
did interview,
interviews.
right?
Yep.
And Lowrider. I mean, so it's again other bands on there. I'm just sort of picking the highlights. So it's these stoner bands doing Jethro Tull. Kind of an odd.
I've heard good things about it. So
I've got them in stock. Yeah, it was like an odd thing. I'm like, is this Cleopatra? Oh no, it's not Cleopatra. Maybe it has some credibility to it, you know. All right, a few restocks that are of interest. This one's almost gone. Attila and Carnasio. This was one of this year's best albums. The Spanish band from the early '70s. They regrouped, made a new album, symphonic prog, kind of heavy, really, really good. We got Oddleaf back in. Uh, it's why don't I know the name? When Ideal and Denial Collide. Strange title. Great record. One of my favorites from the year. And then we got back in Porcupine Tree, Fear of a Blank Planet, the deluxe edition that just showed up. Run through the vinyl real quick. We got Crippled Black Phoenix, British band. The wolf changes its fur, but not its nature. It's a 3 LP set. The you like these guys?
never listened to it.
Oh, you never heard them?
Yeah.
I don't know if you would like them or not. I do have one quick crazy story about Crippled Black Phoenix. But so the first two albums of them reworking early material, re-recording, reworking early material. I think they brought in some guests, and then the third album is them doing cover tunes. So I got a quick Crippled Black Phoenix story. So Carl D'Amato was the guitarist in Crippled Black Phoenix, British guitarist, and I years later I made an album, this all-star prog band called Vly. We did a one-off album, and Carl was the guitarist in Crippled Black Phoenix. They came over to the U.S. to tour, traveling around in a van. And this is when I blew out my leg, my left knee, and I was in a leg brace for months. And I was sitting on it was Carl said, "Hey, I'm on tour with my band. I had never heard of these guys." And he said, "We're playing Philadelphia. Be cool if I can meet you and come by." Sure. Come on over, Carl. So I'm sitting on the sofa and the doorbell rings. I get on my crutches and I get over to and let Carl in. And we're hanging out. And I said, "Where's the band?" "Oh, they're in the van. They're outside in the van." I said, "Why you haven't come in?" So, so he's like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So he goes out and they come in and all these guys come in. First thing they want to do is they want to use the bathroom, of course. And I'm sitting in a van touring around, and that's fine. And then I had this big 70-inch Sony TV in my family room, and I'm sitting, so we're all sitting, and the cellist in the van, she comes in and she says, "That's the biggest telly I've ever seen in my life." So nice guys. They're very, very nice. And I almost worked with them, but unfortunately they were about to sign a contract and they discovered that they were still on the contract to another label. So
So,
that was, and
could
then
be a
Carl,
problem. Yeah.
yeah, Carl left the band. They've been on a number of labels. They're on Season of Mist. Very, very good band. Very good. It kind of characterizes post rock, but there's a lot of metal in what they do. Okay, next thing we got the Flower Kings. Live in Europe 2023, we have two versions, Green Leaves vinyl and Bloody Mary vinyl. This was not on Inside Out. This came out on CD. Royna put it out himself. So first time on CD. We have the Dave Pike set on vinyl, again from the original Analog Masters. And last we have something, this was a Record Store Day release. I had it on CD previous weeks, but I decided to bring in the vinyl due to the interest. Charles Tolliver Music Inc., live at the Captain's Cabin. phenomenal modal jazz album. John Hicks on piano, Clint Houston on bass, Cliff Barbaro on drums. And one of our customers, one of our SOT fans, Joe Baca, emailed me this afternoon to say that Charles Tolliver album is hot. Thanks for bringing it in and recommending it to us on SOT. So you should buy it. If you like if you like straight jazz, it's not fusion, it's not jazz rock, it's straight modal jazz. Just Charles Tolliver, one of the originators, one of the founders of the Strata East label, just killing it, killing it on trumpet. It's fantastic.
Cool.
And that's what I got.
Sounds good. So, of course, as always, we'll have all of these titles down in the comments below, pinned at the top, so you can go and copy and paste. Lasercd.com is the URL, so go check it out and get yourself a Charles Tolliver
Absolutely.
LP there, right?
You could do no wrong. You could do worse, I should say. But fantastic, really fantastic record. Great archival from 1973.
Love the photograph on the front. That's awesome. That's big.
Yeah. And it's a good recording. I think Kevin Gray did the mastering.
Who's in the rest of the band?
So yeah, John Hicks, he's a monster pianist. Clint Houston, who's a great bass player, played with Ryo Kawasaki when Ryo was in New York, living in New York, and Cliff Barbaro, great drummer. So I mean, these guys are just on fire, and just long extended pieces, and very melodic. It, I wouldn't say is this the album to dip your toe into the jazz water? Maybe not, but not too far off. So, and I got somebody ringing my doorbell.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get ready to let him go. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Remember, if you're going to Sons of Ra tonight, go see Ken in Philly. And hopefully we'll see some of you folks in Newburgh tomorrow at Sea of Tranquility Fall Fest. Till next time, for Ken Golden, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time here on the Professor's Picks. Have a good weekend. Take care.
Take care.